Okay, good morning. It's Monday. And it's a really chipper Monday actually. But I have a big thought in my head. Now it's been a little while since I posted because I'm very conscious about not putting any old crap up. And to be completely truthful, I did also try some videos last week, but you know what? The content was adding no value, so they will forever sit in the vault of never gonna see the light of day. But I enjoyed a webinar on Friday, actually, a really powerful webinar or web conference. Yeah, web conference. It was hosted out of Academy X, and it was hosted by Frances Valentine. She's the founder of Academy X, who also is where I'm studying my master's. And in there, she shared two things that really kind of just superglued themselves inside my brain. The first one was a report from Deloitte about New Zealand in 2050 or 2040, and who we will be as a country. And the second one was a really powerful video, which I'll drop in on the web page for this. Just a really powerful video to make you stop and think. I think the video part really aligns to people's purpose and kind of everyone taking a collective effort to improve the world that we're in. But that's not the purpose for this video. So I was reading the Deloitte the Deloitte New Zealand future for 20 something. I think it was 2040 or 2050, can't quite remember. I remember thinking to myself, that's not far away, so it must be 2040. Anyway, where it got me thinking is, I think New Zealand, we're in trouble. We're in trouble because we're not keeping up with the rest of the world. We're in trouble because the backbone of our country is agri, which is fine, nothing wrong with that. And you know, we're a very big and proud agricultural country. But with the changes that are going on in the world at the moment, the geopolitical storms that are happening, the climate-related changes that are going on, flooding, natural disasters, you know, your 1 in 100 year events feel like they're a 1 in every 2 year event or something like that. Is agriculture still going to be the safe bet for the country? When I look at the world, particularly, well, from my perspective, right, just Joe Worker, you know, doing what I can do in my sphere, I just don't think we're keeping up, New Zealand. We're not keeping up with educating around technology. We're not keeping up with advancements, developments. And I think we're actually staring down a pathway of some serious trouble as a country. It's not nice to admit that. And actually, it's given me a bit of a burst of energy for what my bigger research paper could be, which I won't share just yet, but I will share at some point. So a couple of things, you know, I think watching the political situation around the world is that things are extremely volatile, or continue to be volatile. And then I look at where New Zealand's positioned, both on the globe and on the global stage. We're at the bottom of the world on the globe, and on the global stage we're a sprat in the ocean compared to the big fishes that are out there. And so what are we going to be in 2040? Now, if you haven't read the Deloitte paper, that's okay. That's partly what I want to be able to do, is bring you the insights and the sharing of that. And I'll drop that in as a separate podcast to this post. But, you know, what are we going to be known for, New Zealand? What are we going to be in 2040? Our infrastructure needs significant investment. Our education needs significant reworking. Our position on the global stage as an agricultural country is potentially under threat with climate change. If we take all those things away, what do we have left? So I think it's time to reinvent It's time to really get ourselves out of this sticky situation that we're in and get into, what are the things that we can do. Now, our isolation can actually be our biggest benefit and our biggest curse. Means that you've got this environment which is, as much as it can be, largely insulated from the rest of the world. I mean, yes, there's global connectivity that makes things a little bit different, but it's almost a perfect little environment for test cases, right? Test and learn, like we used to be a little while ago. And so I think there's definitely an opportunity for us as a country to reinvent ourselves, to reposition ourselves, and really just start to build in additional strings to our bow. So obviously agri will continue to be, as the world needs to be fed, agri will continue to be a big part of who we are as a country. But as the security of that decreases and our isolation from the world, both physically and at the moment politically, continues, I think we need to add a couple more strings to our bow. And one of the easy ones, because we do have 95% connectivity around the country, from a fibre broadband perspective, is digital, is technology. The relative safety of New Zealand, the relative independence of the country. It affords us some very unique opportunities, and I'm really, really excited to get into thinking about what those could be. I think it's going to take some bold steps by government and by private enterprise to make these happen. But what would it take to add a few more strings to our bow as a country?